doing? What's the gossip? Let me know. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. How is everyone doing? I'll tell you what the gossip is. Today I am painting my dining room. So I have been prepping, been getting all the bits done. If you watched my last video, I was doing some of the paneling. If you've not watched the last video, you should go and watch it. And I'm so excited. I'm excited to get a bit of a warmer color in this space. It's not going to be too much, still a neutral, but a bit more of a like a truffle type color, and it is going everywhere. So I'm going to color drench. I've bought some wood paint for the doors and the skirting, and then I bought the emulsion for the rest of it, and I've gone for matte and eggshell for the doors and stuff. So I'm excited for that to be done. I'm up, I've started like I say, everywhere's prepped pretty much now, so I just need to get the mirror off the wall. I was doing some transitions and stuff this morning just to make it like quite cool on for some short form content. So I need to get the mirror off the wall, and I need to just wrap up like the chandelier and then the wall lights. But other than that, everything's done. The pictures are down, then wall lights at this side are off, the radiator's off, we're good to go. We're gonna be painting. So this video is probably going to consist a lot of just that stuff. So home, getting it all done, that's the vibes that we do over here. I'm excited to really in that space of just getting stuff done. It's this time of year I feel like everyone starts nesting a little bit, don't they? And that's what I'm doing. So we'll be doing that. I have a man coming out to look at if anyone watched my last video, you'll know that I had issues with my boiler. So it needs replacing. She is an old girl and she just needs to be sorted. So I've got someone coming this morning at some point, but I do want to start painting, but I'm almost a bit like they need to come through this room and I don't want them to have to walk through for paint. But they did say the morning time, so by the time I've taken the mirror down and the lampshades and stuff off, they may be here. And once that's done, it's full steam ahead. I'll be up in that ceiling, I'll be into all the corners, I've got my brush ready. We're ready to go and get it done. So I'm going to be doing this side of the room as well, but what I'm going to do is everything in here first, like absolutely everything, then move into here, because I'm putting a chandelier up in here, so I can't paint until the chandelier's done. I don't know if I could do the wall. Could I do the walls? The chandelier's due to be done maybe in a couple of days, probably about 2 weeks. But what I don't want to do is do the walls and then the ceiling. I know that it's paint and it's the same color, but I don't want to like do it and then it look like a different color, because this has been curing for a couple of weeks. Is that a thing? The only reason I say that is this paint here is by the brand Lick and it's white 05, and I spent quite a lot of money on this paint, if I'm honest. And when I'd done it all, obviously living through renovations, then I went in to touch up some bits of it and it stood out like a sore thumb. This isn't the type of paint where you can go in and do a touch-up job. And I remember messaging them and they said it's something to do with once the paint is like cured, like if you then go over the top of it, you're going something, I can't remember, it's something to do with like sunlight and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, there's, I'm guessing, a science behind it. So that's the only reason I don't know if I want to do that. But then if I painted everything, it would just be a case of going over that ceiling when it's done, and that would probably make things so much easier, because then I'm just waiting on the chandelier. I cannot wait for that to be done. I need to message the ceiling rose place, Plaster Ceiling Roses, because I want to buy one and go and pick it up tomorrow if I'm allowed to, because then Mike can get that up. He's going to do all the electrics, have it in situ tomorrow, and then it's just a case of waiting for the chandelier to be delivered, and then we can just put that up, and then it's Christmas and all the Christmas stuff will be going up. Normally I would probably be getting ready to start putting my stuff up now, but obviously with me doing all this, that's not happening. I'm doing my home office this year as well, and someone fell through my ceiling in my home office, so that's in the middle of being repaired as well, so I can't even do my Christmas decks in there. But anyway, it's fine. Right, let me go. I need to go and have a morning coffee because I've not had my coffee yet. I'm going to go and do that, and then I'm going to get on with this painting, and I'll give you all the details and stuff of the paint. I want to wait until I've done the whole room first, just to make sure that it goes on right. I don't want to recommend something that isn't great. So let me do that, and then at the end, if I'm happy with the paint and stuff, I will tell you about it, because it's a beautiful colour, but I just want it to be good before I recommend to you guys. So I'll keep you posted. But anyway, let me go and do this. look what it looks like. It is so strange how bare it is in here now. But I have just put sheets down. I'm going to start over here. I'm just going to start up here on the ceiling. I think what I'm going to do is do all the coving and ceiling first, and then I'll come on and do the walls. And then I think it'll probably take maybe 2, maybe 3 coats. So wish me luck. I've got Vampire Diaries on. This area looks a little bit chaotic, but we're fine. We're just going to be over here, living our best lives. I will cover the chandelier, but I'm going to do it. Actually, I'll get another sheet out now and do it, because I was going to do it with one of these, but actually it's probably better that that's covered, because when I get to this point, I don't want any spackles going on it. So yeah, but yeah, it looks so strange. Time to get this all fresh, clean, and it's crazy how quickly you can empty a room. It feels like it takes so long to curate it and put it together, and all the thought and love that goes into it, and you can literally empty it in an hour or 2. So anyway, right, gonna go, I'm gonna start, and then I'll film in some in a little bit. So it is many hours later. I'm sorry about the echo, and I'm in the stage, and I'm sure everybody goes through this when you paint. I do all the time, where I go, is it the right one? And it's a huge change. And to a lot of people, I don't know whether to you this is going to look like much darker, but it feels it. Now it is giving the cozier vibe that I want, but I'm just in that state of, is it the right thing to do? Have I made the right decision? And I love the colour. And obviously it's not even dry yet. It's going to dry matte and look amazing. I still need to go over it all again. But yeah, I'm in that state of, is it the right decision? Now, I'm always someone who will always see it through anyway, regardless of whether I do or don't. But I genuinely love the colour. I think it's just because I'm going from like such a light colour to not the darkest colour. It's definitely not. But in comparison to what it's been, it is obviously much darker. But once I furnish it and style it, I think that's when it's going to come to life. So I'm going to have to get myself through this, but I do love the colour. But it is coming with that little bit of, ooh, but I think that's normal. It is always for me, every single time I paint a room. But I've come into this house and painted everywhere like a really light neutral, other than my office. And I did do exactly this in my office. Now I adore it. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to continue painting. Now I'm moving on to the walls. This plaster, I don't know if you can see, this ceiling rose was the bane of my life. It was so difficult to paint. It took me ages. I think I probably spent about an hour on it, and there's still lots of white bits. So I'm going to need to go back over it all again. But I thought, let me just get in, because I've been doing this for hours. It's not because it's taken, it was just mainly that. The coving, I painted quite quickly. The rolling was quite quick. It was this. But now that I'm heading to the walls, I think that's going to happen semi-quickly. Obviously, I've got the paneling, so I'm going to have to do all that with a brush. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it all looks like, but I do think I'm really scared. And it's a really dull day outside, which is probably a blessing in disguise, because then I'm going to see it at its true, like what it looks like when it's dull, because it's dark. When I come back to you, we're probably going to have a chunk of these walls painted, and I'm in it. But I think it's always a trusted process. I want the warm, I want the cozy, I want to sit at night and feel snuggly. I've still got the high ceilings, and even though darker ceilings will make it feel a bit lower, they're still not low, they're high. And yeah, but I've protected the chandelier. We're getting no paint on this. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get stuck into the wall. So let's go and do this.
Headlights on the highway. If you only knew, being back here always makes me think of you. When the world is sleeping, do you think of me? With the road ahead's coming back again, coming back to me. I remember the long drives, the late nights in your car. I remember it all. Windows.
It is 25 to 1 in the morning. And I have been non-stop painting. I think I must have started at like 10 a.m. this morning, and I made noodles for my tea. But I've got 2 coats on everything. I've not done the woodwork, so that's a tomorrow job. Paint paneling is all well and good until it comes to painting it, and it takes ages. But in my opinion, worth it. So we'll see how it dries in the morning. This ceiling rose, I think in total, it probably took me about 2, maybe even longer, 2 hours, 3 hours to do. It was so fidgety, but it's all about the details. So I'm going to take myself to bed. I'll show you all in the daylight and stuff tomorrow, and we'll get a bit of a feel for it because I don't even know what it's going to look like. So I will see you in the morning. Good morning. It is the next day. I have another paintbrush in my hand. I am exhausted, but there is no time. There is no time to be tired. It's time to get this sorted. It is so echoey. So I don't know if you can see the blue, but I've taped up all around the doors and stuff just because I think I'm a bit tired, and I'm like, do you know what? It'll be easier if I don't have to be like this the whole way around all the skirting, all the doors. So that's what I've done, and hopefully it'll make it nice and quick. I'm going to crack on. As I've been looking this morning, it has been really dull today, but I am loving the colour. I just hope, because this is a wood and metal paint that I've got now, so I'm hoping that it doesn't look much different. I want it to feel colour drenched. So let's see what that turns out. I've gone for an eggshell on the doors. I'll talk to you once I've done it all anyway, and I'll explain it. But yeah, I've gone for an eggshell for the wood, and I've gone for a flat mat on the walls and the ceiling and the coving and the paneling and the everything. But yeah, you're gonna have to forgive the state of this. Like, I woke up, I went to bed, I think it was about 2 o'clock by the time I got to bed, and then I was up by 7. And I am a man who needs 8 hours. Between 7 and 8, I need it. And the fact that I've not got it this morning, and I do think I'm coming down with something. Do you know when your eyes burn? So I feel like particularly when I do that, like it feels like they're straining and burning. So maybe I'm just a little bit run down. However, I don't have time for that. I need to get this done. So I'm just going to muscle through it. And to be fair, it's probably a good thing that I'm busy, not just sitting around. So I'm going to get it done. Today should not be anywhere near as long as last night. I think it'll probably take me about an hour, maybe 2 hours to get the first coat on, and then probably about an hour for the second coat. And then it's just going to be a case of starting to get this room put back together. I'll have to do a little walk around and, you know, almost see if there's any bits, because like I say, the lighting's not great today. So I'm just trying to see if I can see any like white speckles or anything. It's looking good so far. I've not really seen anything, but yeah, I know what happens. My little eyes will be like that, especially when it gets sunny. Anyway, right, I'm gonna go crack on. I'm not gonna film too much of me actually painting today because there's only so much painting that you can watch, but I'll come back to you once it's done and we'll talk about all the paint, because I have loved it actually. It's gone on really well. The second coat was a dream. So yeah, I'll talk to you all about that in a little bit. It is the next day and I am going to show you the complete room. The lighting is a little bit lighty today, as in it's shining at the minute directly in the room. So don't worry, I'll make sure that we get the full effect, whether it takes, I have to go into the evening and show you some bits. But PS, I'm so sorry, forgive all this. I'm going to get shaped up and shaved and haircut tomorrow. But so it's taken me so long to do it. I think I've mentioned that today. This video feels like I started it ages ago. It was only, I think, 2 days ago, but I love it. I was messaging like some of my friends, like I was messaging Andrea, and I was going, have I gone too dark? Because I think you just need when you do something, you just need a little bit of, it's amazing. So, especially because I'm here on my own, I've not had anyone here, and I can't ask yous in real time, which makes me sad because I wish I could. But yeah, I love it. I don't know if you're getting the real effect at the minute because, like I say, it is quite bright at the minute. It's not too moody in the sense of you would come in and go, that's a really dark room, but it just feels warmer, cozier. It feels quite luxe. It is beautiful. So the colour that I used, I went for Oxford Stone. It's a fire and ball colour. I did, however, get it mixed up in the Valspar paint, and I went for the premium matte, and then I went for eggshell on all the woodwork. The reason that I got it mixed up is because months ago I got this sample. This sample's been upstairs. I think I even filmed it. It was months and months. It must have been April time, maybe even before that. And I got a couple of samples and I never ever put them on because I decided, no, I'm not going to do anything. And I remembered, so when I was talking about potentially changing the living room, I put the samples on the wall and I fell in love with the colour. So I've not even tried the fire and ball one, but because I had the sample of this one, I thought I'm just going to go with what I've got the sample for. And I've used the Valspar paint upstairs before and it goes on pretty well, to be fair. So I actually, that's it, Oxford Stone, fire and ball, but made in Valspar. Maybe you could try the Fire and Ball one and let me know if you've got it. But that is this colour. So I'll take you off and I'll show you some of the details a little bit closer. Oh, it feels super cozy. So let me try and get you some light that is probably a bit more of a reflection. So if you remember over here, I did all this paneling, forgive this room, but all this didn't have any paneling on it. So I did all this and then I colour drenched onto the new doors that I've got. And then if you look at it against the radiator as well, and then down onto the skirting. This door still got tape on the outside, so, and then I've just been doing some washing, so I need to take that upstairs when I go up. But the colour, I would say it's like a truffle, it's warm, it's cozy, it's luxe. I think if you're going to do this colour, one thing that I would say to you is just get your lighting right. So you'll be able to see over here, because obviously this room's still the same colour, whereas it doesn't look like a massive difference now when you look at it on camera. I mean, I think it does, to be honest, but this feels cooler and light and airy, and this still feels neutral, but it's cosy. So that's the type of vibe that you get from the difference. This is what the room looked like before. While I love the bright and airy, I just love this. I've always been like a warmer guy at heart, and I just couldn't not but look. Just look at that. It is amazing. And as you know, I was colour drenching, so I was going right up to the ceiling. I don't think you can even see where the spotlight was. Maybe, was it there? I'm not too sure. But he's done a great job of covering them and stuff, and there's obviously all the reflections from the chandelier. I still need to take the tape off. I forgot to do that, so I'll get the tape off there. But this is the vibe that I'm going for, and yeah, the ceiling was pretty easy to do, to be fair. And this is what it looks like over here. And then with the lights, these lights have got like a gold lining in them, so it gives off that warm glow anyway, which I love. But over here you can see it feels quite yellow on here, which I've loved. This one it still feels it here, but whereas when it shines up, I don't think it looks as yellow. And I think this paint has got a bit of a yellow undertone anyway. That's the Lick White 05, this one. But yeah, that's I do think I need to bring in some sort of colour. So I'm doing some artwork for up here. So I don't know whether to bring in some greens and stuff that are maybe like on this shade. So I may try that. You'll have to let me know what you think. I'm not a colour guy, so you're never ever going to see bright colours. It's never going to happen. But I am thinking maybe something like, this is a William Morris shade. So I'm thinking maybe something on a piece of artwork that I could do myself up here. So yeah, and then also here's the paneling. This is what it looks like behind the radiator. If you remember, I didn't have any here or here. And I feel like that's just finished it off perfectly. It looks super good. Like, I'm so pleased. I did, however, make a little mark down there when I was pulling the tape off, so I do need to fix that. And there was one at this side as well. But this, all of it just looks amazing. Imagine when this is all my kitchen and I can see through there and I'll have an island and all gorgeous marble and oh, I'm so excited. But yeah, I think it's just exactly what I was looking for. Now, the only thing that I was a little bit worried about, P.S. the curtains and stuff are not fixed yet, so I need to take the curtain pole out a little bit further and have them all sitting right. I've not sorted that yet. But the only thing that I was a tad worried about is, do my fabrics stand out now? Because I felt like before when I had the lighter colour, all my fabrics on my chairs and everything stood out. Whereas I just don't know if it all feels like it doesn't. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. You'll have to let me know your thoughts. But this space, I can't believe that I've created this. This is just wild to me. It's absolutely wild and I adore it so much. I think this unit here looks incredible in this space. The dark, like mahogany wood, just, it oozes exactly what I'm going for. Old world, but with a little bit of a modern twist. Oh, the styling's not finished neither, but look at the sun's coming in. Look at the sunshine. Look at it all. I'll need to get all this tape and stuff sorted because that's on the outside, so I need to finish the door from that side. I have ordered the chandelier for the living room. That is actually en route to me now. They did say it won't be delivered until the 20th, but I got a message yesterday to say that actually they got them in stock sooner and it's on its way. So this will be going in the living room. And I am going to put it in line with this one because it's a little bit off. So it's going to just be like, there's going to be two and it's just going to be there. And then I will be painting the living room as well. So I think Mike's going to be starting that on Monday. Look at how bright it is. It's gorgeous. The light is gorgeous. This room will be getting painted, like I say, over the next couple of days. So I'm going to start prepping tonight, I think. Under here, I don't know if you can see, there's loads of marks on this, but I've never been able to get the caulk right under there because when I put this on, the fireplace had already been installed. But I found that you can get a little 45-degree nozzle, so that's on its way to me. That's getting delivered tonight. Then I can caulk all under there. I can do all down here and just get it all fresh. And then over the next couple of days, I'm going to be painting. The thing that I'm excited about is I think the fireplace is going to stand out a bit more because if you look how dark it is in here, that'll stand out there. The chimney sweep marked here, but I have got a magic eraser that's getting delivered, so I'm going to take that off. I don't want to wipe it with nothing else other than that, but I think it's going to be amazing when this stands out a bit more because it's in like this type of vibe. It'll be like lighter. I am obsessed. You'll have to let me know what you think. And by the way, I won't take offence if it's not your style. I get it. When you go a bit darker, it's not going to be for everyone. So I totally understand that. I also did all round here. So all this has been painted. And the good thing is all this paint is really hard wearing. So I can wipe it and scrub the skirting boards and all that good stuff. And you can see the difference in paint colour here. So this is the new colour down there to then what it is. But I don't think you get a true, because it is a neutral, so it's not going to be standy outy, as in, it's not going to be like, wow, what a huge difference. But when you're in here, trust me, you do feel it. And because, let me close these blinds a little bit because I want you to see if you can get like a bit of the moodier vibe that it gives. See, you can already see like how moody that looks. I've not even fully shut them, but I've pulled them over a bit. It is a vibe. It is a total vibe. It's warm, it's cozy. I do have a little bit of a concern about the living room not being, the lighting is just really here. I've got obviously my beds, the ones here on beside the sofa. These are quite bright, so I probably need different bulbs. I would love something with light on in the bay. I don't know what that looks like at the minute. I don't know whether it's a table with a little something on, then maybe a little tiny side lamp. I don't know whether it's a floor lamp, maybe two floor. I don't know. But if you have got any ideas, but I would love to get lighting in here somehow. Because when I had the console table here with the two lamps on, I loved that in the winter. Bear in mind, my tree is actually going up very soon, so I'm going to have that light. But yeah, here, this is what we've done. I'm super proud. Let me know what you think. Oh my gosh, you're so excited. Even the background, it feels cozy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with it. I'm so glad I've done it. I won't lie to you. I am slightly dreading doing in here because it was such a big job. And when I say big job, it wasn't hard. It was just time consuming. And well, that's what you need to do to get the gorgeousness. And what I think I'm going to do tonight is start prepping, like I say, the living room. And then I think I'm going to do the living room in stages because I don't know if I could emotionally handle bear in mind it was 2 solid days. On that second day I was like, it'll only take me a couple of hours. While it wasn't as intense as day 1, it definitely was nowhere near that. It was still a lot. So I think I'm going to break the living room up and then maybe do like the back wall with this wall, and then maybe do the chimney wall with that wall, and then do the ceiling. So maybe split it over like, I know I say this in my head, and then I know when it comes to I'm just going to want it done, so I'm going to just end up doing what I've done. But in my head, I think if I slowly do it, I can't do the ceiling until probably the back end of next week anyway, by the time the chandelier's on, by the time the wiring's all done and filled and sanded and all that good stuff. And in saying that, I'm going to have to sand. I don't know if I can start painting with sand in that filler. While it doesn't go everywhere, I can maybe hold a hoover up to it, you know, while it's not a lot, it's just going to be where I need to think about that, because I don't want the walls to get ruined once I've done them. I would probably come on here and I would be crying to every single one of you. But yeah, in my head, I split it over like 3 or 4 days with not intenseness, because if I do this back wall, get it fully done, I can almost move the sofa and my lamps and everything back there. This wall here won't really be much disruption. This wall will just be taking the TV down for a couple of hours while I do, maybe I could, yeah, no, I have to take the TV down for a couple of hours and then do that wall and the curtain wall, because the curtain wall is obviously the blinds and the curtains down, and I'll do that first thing in the morning so that it gives it time to dry and then I can get at least the blinds back up. But yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think. I'm super excited. I'm super pleased with how it's turned out, and I just need to do this space. But I'm so glad when I was even painting, like, because you've been here, I mean, I've been here for 3 years, and bear in mind, I've renovated pretty much every single month, whether it be a hallway, paneling, wardrobes, all the stuff that I've been doing lots of renovation work, taking down chimneys, taking down walls, taking just the lot. So the walls were they just needed a refresh, and I knew I was either going to be refreshing them in this colour or a new one, and I'm so glad I did a new one. Well, doing it in the original colour that I had them would have been much easier. If I was going to change it all, now was the time, because I've just done the chandelier, so I had to paint the ceiling, I had to finish off the paneling, and then I was going to have to touch up the other walls, so it didn't seem as bad. So I hope you like it, and if you don't, it's also fine too. It's my style and I adore it. I was going through the worry, so bear in mind if you are doing it and you get that little worry stage that you've seen in the middle of this video when I was a bit like, is this the right thing for me to be doing? Trust the process, get through it. I think it's once you start putting all your pieces together, once you start seeing it, because when you're doing it in and everything looks a mess, feels, but once it all goes back together and you bring that calmness, it feels amazing. It is a little bit later now from that literally 2 second ago clip, because my friend showed up. So if the lighting's giving something completely different now, apologies, but I've just had a quick catch up with her, and now I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to have for my tea tonight. I really don't know. I was literally just saying this 2 minutes ago. As an adult, something that is so underrated, as in I wouldn't say stress, but the thought of what am I going to have for tea every single night. And especially, I feel so sorry for parents, because it's hard work. At least me, I can just go, I'll just have something quick, or I'll just have this, or whereas parents, especially for fussy kids who want loads of different stuff, the struggle is real. But I am going to finish this video up because it's due to go up in the morning. So when you're watching this, I am actually filming the night before. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for being a bestie, and I will catch you in my next video.